Hi everyone, it's Nathara, and today I'm going to be going over the new scene pack. Just a quick reminder, you only get what's listed in the pack contents right here. You do not get the display outfit they use to showcase the item. So today I'm going to be going over the chat bubble Lingering Secrets, the full body pose Hazy Rain, of course the scene Scarlet Luminance, and the dynamic pose Cocoon Breaker. Alright, and here's the scene in its entirety. You are in a almost cathedral looking zone that's been crumbled in, and then there's like this ominous tree in the center. There's candles at the bottom that kind of hint that this might be a place of worship. Maybe there's someone in here who is worshiping this thing. There's the heart pumping in the center. That's really hard to see from the preview items. So definitely this is like a very ominous tree of life in a sense. There is a massive red glow that goes over everything. A few lights do come in from the side. There's the blue outside area. I kind of would have liked it if the outside was not blue, like the light of the world outside was a bit maybe more darker to fit the atmosphere of this super spooky tree right here. Like maybe if it was an ombre of a red and a black outside, just to like, you know, really amp up that creep factor, because I mean there's a literal floating heart pumping in this tree, and to have this just look like a early night outside, that just does not match the ominousness of the tree. But that's just me kind of nitpicking on the scene itself for no particular reason. It's just something I noticed, and maybe not a design choice I would have gone with. Like up here, I think that's a nice dark blue, but it just gets very bright at the bottom. But anyway, moving on, the stone up front does have a very clear pattern to it, but you probably won't be posing up here too much. There is some nice wiggly bushes, and the grass is wiggling. The candle flames are moving as well. Some nice stones, definitely 3D asset stones, no pictures that I see. And again, the tree, I do like it. The roots look really nice. They're well sculpted. The membranes, I guess that's such a weird term to use, but I don't have anything else in my head right now, and that word is just gonna stick inside of me. But the membranes look nice here. Some of them are a little blurry, as you can see, like in this zone right here that has the holographic light filtering through out of it. And there is a priestess over here who looks like she's locked in prayer. There's another one over here. So definitely a cathedral, definitely a place of worship for this tree. A very cool concept for a scene. Alright, and again, the scene has a very massive puzzle area that I cannot fit into one shot singly, so I'm just going to show you their video. This is as far forward and to the left as you can go, just as straightforward, and as far right into the front as you can go. And this is as far straight back as you can go. You can go beyond the tree, which is really nice. You can go very far off to the right because it does come into a kind of cone area. So you can see that your doll is all the way out there, and it's the same thing with the other side. The posable area is pretty massive. Let me see what the sink is really quick. Oh goodness, she really went down. I'm guessing that because the lower part of the scene back here with like the candles and the tree is lower, we're up on a ledge with this rock. So whenever you get off of that ledge and you go down in this area to pose in, you do only go down just a bit. But it is good that you can be in these rocks if you ever need to be. But I do like that you can come down here and you can actually put your doll on the ground and be posing down here in front of this little altar area. And I am super excited to say that you can in fact get into the tree and pose in here however you like, which is phenomenal because I was so worried that they were going to have this awesome 3D asset in this scene that we wouldn't be able to get next to or get into, because you know sometimes they do that to us. But again, I'm just so happy that we can get in here and you can reach it with your camera and everything, so that is great news. So it is obviously very bright and a little messy towards the center of the heart because of so much stuff is spewing out, but definitely worth it in my opinion. As for the height that you can go to the ceiling up in this one. So you can't, unless you go all the way off to the like side and you go outside of the dome. Okay, so yeah, you can come out here, but we do have other scenes that give you this. You actually can't go up. You bring her down just a touch. We do have other scenes that give you a kind of sky like this, and they do have stars, and we do have blank scenes where you can get off to the side a little bit more easily, or if you just want this bluish color. So if you are looking for like a blank scene to use like as your panel or something, there are other options. And as for the lighting, I'm sure you can see this does add a very red glow to your doll. I really like it. It adds a unique touch to it and it just really fits with the scene a lot. Let me bring in my other two dolls. It is a darker scene, but again, you can see that red coming in really strongly, especially on the paler doll. She's very pink looking. The darker doll is definitely going to lose her detailing if you push it hard with filters or the contrast, but it could definitely add for a very dramatic flare. I don't even think, actually, I don't think she has the palest tone. Let me be right back. Okay, here is the palest tone. I think I have her like on the little gray cast tone, but this girl right here has the pale tone, and she isn't as pink looking as the other one, but you can still sort of see it on her. I don't see too much of an issue with the lighting. Again, I do like that it adds a bit of color to the doll, and it's not like an overly bright glow or a super moody scene that will detract. But here's the lighting from the front, and rather interestingly, here's the lighting from the right. It almost looks like she's in front of a computer screen. So this could definitely be used for, I'll put some pictures in, but kind of like this effect right here. I think that's actually really unique, and I like how it turned out like that. Like you could still see the hint of the red coming from the left side, but that like cool blue grayish kind of tone is not what I expected, but I am happy to see it. And here's the lighting from the back, and again, I actually really like this. I like the contrast and that cool color. It kind of, yeah, like again with the screen, or maybe even something underneath of the ocean without having to be underneath the ocean. It adds a lot of harsh shadows that really cut and define, and you can still see that hint of red laced throughout, and I really like it. And here is the lighting from the left. Now this is a lot more red than before. I'm guessing all of the blue outside light comes in from the right and all the red light comes in from the left, which makes sense if I think back on how the lighting looked on the other angles. But I do like this as well. She definitely cannot be pushed too far with the contrast and filters before she is just completely melding into the background. But I do like the red. You could probably amp it up with the saturation and maybe one of the red filters, and then actually tone down the vignette. Tone that down just a bit to make sure she doesn't just disappear. But I like this one too. It's probably the first time I've found a scene where I like the lighting from all angles, and all angles are different to such a degree. Now for our poses, one of them is a handheld pose. It is Hazy Rain. It does come with an umbrella in this one right here. I do not know why she has it up so high. I kind of think it feels a little weird, does it not? Maybe that's just me, but I feel like it's too high, and you won't even see it in most of the pictures. I don't know why they had it up like that, but the feet are there. They don't really do anything. She is holding her hand out like she's about to catch a dewdrop or just some rain. Her face is very not unexpressive. It just looks kind of a little bit distant, a little bit thoughtful, like she's contemplating something that she likes, but she's still kind of locked in her thoughts. Like maybe she's lost in a nice little memory or something like that. There's just not too much to it besides that, though. Again, the umbrella is all the way up there. I'm going to assume that the umbrellas are all going to work with it, but you know, we can't do that with LM because they'd like to just say, haha, no, that's not gonna work. Actually, the only umbrella that works is the display one. So let me just check. Where's another umbrella? All right, so here is the blooming one. Again, it is in her hand correctly, and I actually do like this one a touch more, maybe not, because it's still so high up, you know, like I don't know. Let me check another one. Mushroom Parasol is super high up as well. The Rain and Bamboo one I think is actually like the base 3D asset of the display one. It's just a little bit more decorative. And then you have this one. So yeah, I have actually clicked through all the other items too as I've been going through this, looking for other things that work, but it is just the umbrellas. I was not expecting that, but this one actually fits really weirdly into the hand. But I actually like this better than the way the handheld originally is, because it makes more sense to me for her to be like this. I don't know, yeah, I like this way better. I wish it was like this instead of having it like weirdly all the way up in the sky. But anyway, yeah, only the umbrellas work with this pose, unfortunately. And only the one has like the cool option. The rest like stick really weirdly up in the sky. As for the dynamic pose, I'm gonna try and show what she looks like without the dynamic camera on, but also like just her in general, what it'll kind of look like. I know she's gonna be moving around here soon. I'm gonna have to like move up and catch up to her. I do like the movements. And I will say that though I like the movements, I do believe the expressions for this scene are truly where it shines, or for this pose. Oh, she already reset, my goodness. Let me bring that back up. So she does float up. She doesn't really do anything when she floats up. She's kind of still until she gets up here, and I do believe she just kind of looks up and open, and then the scene resets. The body poses are not bad. I do like the shackled theme of it. And as for our expression, I am so excited to be able to have an expression like this. There's so much emotion in it, and they have never given us anything that portrays this sort of feeling or anything that can capture something even remotely close to this. So I am just, again, I'm so happy they finally gave us something like this. Oh my gosh, it just reset, didn't it? I hate when it does that. I don't know why it does that. Please don't reset my thing there, game. But yeah, I really hope they continue to give us expressions like this that are just full of life and emotion, and you can feel it as she's emoting to it. So yeah, definitely the expression for the scene and the scene itself is just great. But on the contrast, the expression for Hazy Rain, again, there's just not too much to it. We have a billion little smiles like this. Alright, and now I'm going to click through the filters so you can see how you might be able to change the ambiance of this scene to make it a bit brighter, a bit more ominous, maybe. I don't know, there's a lot that you can do with this scene, at least that I can see that you can do with this scene. And as for our retouch settings, there's a very strong vignette. Your halo is really going to bring that tree blooming into almost blindingly zones. I actually kind of like it toned down like this. Your DOF, because you are up on this ledge, you can blur that tree out so it's just like a really red squiggling squirming ball in the back. And your white balance, actually let me readjust. Ooh, that's really pretty. Hold on, what does the doll look like? No, I think I actually really like that. Temp 4.4, tone 0.1. That's really gorgeous. And as for our saturation, super red, obviously. And your contrast. I actually like the trunk of the tree better with a very high contrast. Kind of makes those little definition spots pop out. Overall, I am super pleased with this scene. The only, I think, issue I have with it is stupid, because I just don't like the repeating pattern that's on this stone up here. And then this like textured floor right here, the forest floor. I get why they did it, but, and they did add like some bumps and grooves to it, but it's still very clearly just kind of like a crumpled up image. But aside from those silly little nitpicks that honestly don't really matter, I can't find too much that I dislike about this scene. Like I said, I really like the lighting, especially from all the angles, how different it is. I love the aesthetic of the scene and the story that it tells. It's great. I don't have too many favorite scenes. I have 3 favorite scenes: the black one, Twilight City, and Misty Corridor, that I have hearted because I just use them so much. I mean, I'm saying I'm gonna love this one, but I typically don't heart something until I'm constantly having to scroll to the end to find it. So I've already used this one in like 4 photo shoots since I've got it 2 days ago, so that is a good identifier that I'm going to be using it a lot because it's going to match a lot more of my fits more often. And here is our chat bubble, Lingering Secret. It's a pretty alright chat bubble. It's not something I would personally pick out for myself to use, but I have it now. But I did pair it with the bear chat background. I kind of wish the pinks were a little bit of a better match for each other, but I didn't really have any other kind of pink snowy backgrounds because the chat bubble has snow that's kind of piled up on top of it, and then the little bears on the bottom with little hearts coming off. Yeah, it's cute. I'm not a fan of the black text. It's a little too harsh in contrast to the chat bubble itself, but not every chat bubble is gonna get some special treatment, so you know, you win some and you lose some. It's Ashley's birthday today, so just a quick reminder, you can enter the code Ashley0628, I do believe, yes, Ashley0628. People have probably been posting it in the feed. Actually, a lot of mine are just Fauna profiles, but you can go ahead and redeem that to get, let's see, some keys, some gold, and 100 diamonds. Excellent. So go ahead and snag that if you haven't already. But that is everything I have for the new scene pack. I do hope you found this helpful and useful in deciding if you would like to purchase it and add it to your collection or not. And as always, I will talk to you later. Bye bye.